Hey everyone, welcome to lesson number 20 in ukulele sessions. My name's Justin, and this lesson is the final lesson of the beginner series. I know there was a couple lessons there that I started kind of shooting off, and I might actually do a little bit of that into the more intermediate advanced. But there's going to be stuff in the intermediate and advanced also that I'm going to break down and make it to where you can digest it easily, the ukulele's ideas. So we're going to get into it right here. Let's go ahead and just work on our posture. Okay, I'm holding the ukulele all the way across. And what we're going to work on today in lesson number 20 is harmony and scale going up the ukulele, and then doing that in using chords and doing some rhythms. And you can also practice some of your plucking techniques, hook and claw, and then also this folk pattern. And then also I'll get some strumming patterns going on. All of these patterns are in 4/4 that I'm going to do, so they can actually play over the top of each other. So they're interchangeable. So go ahead and try this out. Let's start off by the new concept of the scale going up the ukulele. This is on string 1, and I'll play this one time for you. Okay, so actually, why don't I just play the entire harmony, and then I'll break it down for you. Here goes. Back down the same way. Okay, I'm using finger P and M while I did that, but you can also use P and I, depending on what feels the most comfortable. Whichever one you do, you really want to make it to where they pluck, right, and they don't hit each other. That's just a common thing that happens, is when people pluck together, their fingers hit. In classical music, they've shown a way to get around that, is pluck through. Your thumb is on top and your other fingers pluck through underneath. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play with let's see, my I finger going up. I'm going to play the first string pattern. Okay, so 0, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. Okay, not really worried about doing I am. If you want to try that, that's a more of an advanced technique. Right. So the goal is to be able to go all the way up and back down. I'm going to go ahead and do it at a beginner pace, okay, which is going to be like this. And back down. All right. So notice how I was changing positions to kind of keep 4 fingers able to play in each position. Now I'm going to go to the 3rd string and play the pattern there on its own. 0, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. 12, 11, 9, 7, 5, 4, 2, 0. Okay. That's both of them together at a basic pace. This is something that you might want to loop. If you don't know how to do a loop in YouTube, try and look that up. I'll try and put a link to setting the loop settings. It's a little extra plugin that you can get to where you can loop just a section of a video, but it's great for practicing. So let's go ahead and try this. I'm going to use finger P and M, plucking through at a beginner pace. And back down. All right, so what we're doing here is just getting the basics of this harmony pattern, right? And eventually at the end of this lesson, I'm going to show you how to use this and lead over the top of some chords being played. Now, when you're practicing this, you really want to focus on holding the ukulele correctly, making sure your P finger's out in front and I and M are pulling through. Okay? It should make it a little bit easier because you're a string apart, right? 1 and 3 that we're using instead of 1 and 2. And eventually you're going to be able to get some slides. 5 to 7 is one of the easier slides. Sliding up. I'm plucking one time and then sliding. And then slide down, same thing. Okay. You could also do that by plucking right one at a time. So I'm plucking the 3rd string, sliding, and then the 1st string. So that's actually how we start doing little patterns like that. So there's a lot of different variations on how you can use this same pattern that I just showed you on the page. Okay, so lesson number 20, this is the lead with the harmony on the 3rd string. One more thing I want to share with you is the position, which fingers you're using with your left hand. It's really important, okay, that you keep a pattern the whole time, okay, to make the transitions really smooth and easy. I like doing finger 2 and finger 3 for those chords that are flat, and I mean flat like they're on the same fret. So 2 2 or 5 5 7 7 or even 12 12. Those are the flat ones. And then for the ones that are more sideways, I use finger 1 and 2. Okay, such as this one right here on fret 3 and 4. Right, string 1, fret 3, string 3, fret 4. Okay, the next time we use that is up here on 8 9 and then 10 11. Okay, so what happens is you have finger 2 and 3 for the flat ones, and then you go up to finger 1 and 2, finger 2 3, finger 2 3, finger 1 2, finger 1 2, and then finger 2 3. Okay, the reason why that we're trying to stick with this pattern all the way through the ukulele is so that when you start doing more complex or faster movements or slides, that it makes sense and you don't kind of fumble over which finger you're using. A lot of people that are getting stuck and not being able to get faster with their technique and skill in ukulele is because they're not paying attention to their finger position and they're playing it different every time. So when they're practicing a different pattern and they're not getting that muscle memory. That's what we're trying to do, is get that muscle memory. Okay, so all right, so going on from there, so we have here's the lesson 20. It's on our Google Doc. If you don't have access to this yet, check out the Patreon page, right? Patreon.com/SG Studio, and you can sign up for the Patreon. Now, the bottom of this is now the chords are on the top, and I'm going to loop this and then show you guys the different patterns. Not only for your rhythm part, but also being able to loop and play the pattern that you see on the top of the page here. Okay, so this pattern right here that we've been working on, we're going to try and play over the top of these chords. All right, so to start off with the chords, let's go ahead and just get a loop going. And here's a really simple pattern. I'll just start off really basic with just a down strum. Okay. Now that's looping. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do the hook and claw plucking pattern that you see there on the page. All right, so notice how the eighth notes, I'm playing 2 plucking patterns. Bum, 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, that's what I'm doing with hook and claw. Now for the next pattern here, I'm actually going to do a faster pattern. Okay, this is more advanced technique. So if you can't get this right away, don't worry about it. Just stay with the basic strum or make up your own, right? Okay, you can do a lot of different strumming. Just stay with the 4/4. Here's next one. Next one. I'm doing this very fast. This is actually 16th notes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and slow that down so you guys can really get that a little bit better. But you can always double time or cut things in half to make it easier for yourself. That's what I'm going to do right here. This is actually 16th notes. The other one was 32nd notes I was doing. Okay, now all those are going together at the same time, so you can interchange and change between those at any time you want. Now this is how the lead goes over the top. Some of these chords work better than others, but this scale works over the entire part of all these, so you can move around anywhere you want to. Here it goes. Okay, now I'm going to do a strumming pattern. Down, up, hit, up. Down, up, hit, up. Another strumming pattern. Hit, up, strum, hit, up, hit, strum, hit, up, hit, strum, hit, up, hit, strum, hit, up, hit. All right, so that's the interchanging between the chords and being able to do leads. I was doing this lead based on what I was showing you here with that lead harmony, right? And you can do a lot of different things, right? So I'm just gonna go out with just jamming over the top of this. And I don't expect you guys to really be able to slide and lead right away with this, but all the techniques we've been learning around PMI patterns, right, with the chords that we were doing before. I think that was lesson 10 had the hook and claw plucking pattern, and just after that we had another one with the 6 pattern, right? PMI, PMI, that variation. Now I could do that over the top of these leads. Right? So it's kind of changing and putting the new lead and the plucking pattern you learned from the earlier lesson together, right? So you can kind of mix and match all these different skills, and you can put these into any song you want. Okay, that's why I'm kind of just starting with the basic chords here in root position, and you can apply them to any song in 4/4. And we'll learn more in 6/8 and 3/4 as well in the coming lessons. This is lesson 20 of the beginner series. We're about to go into the intermediate 21 through 40, which is going to get more into going up the scale, transposition to other keys and full scales, and then also strumming patterns. Ways to do really fast strumming, but without having to really work too hard. Doing techniques of rasgueados, which are flamenco guitar techniques within your ukulele playing. So I'm going to go out with this little jam, and if you have any questions, please let me know. If you haven't already, click the like button on the video and the YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube page. Please do that, and you'll get updates on all the different videos I'm doing on ukulele, percussion, bass, and guitar, and other instrumentations. All right, so here we go with a little bit of a loop. I'll just stay in this view while I do this one. You're welcome to play along. And yeah, hope you enjoy. Root position, chord structure. Little jam there, using some Raschiato techniques, some things that I've taught in the 1 through 20 lesson, and I'll be getting into the intermediate and advanced ukulele techniques in the next 40 lessons. If you want access to this, or if you know anyone that wants access to this, please go to our Patreon page. I'll put a link in the description below. And thank you so much for your support. Please like and subscribe to the page, and I look forward to meeting you and hearing from you. Please ask questions in the comments, and I'll see you again really soon. Take care.